There are about 1,000 days of your life that you lived through completely and cannot remember a single second of. You were there. You were awake. You laughed, you cried, you learned to sit up, to crawl, to walk, to say your first word. Someone held you while you fell asleep. You had entire days full of firsts. And all of it is gone. Not blurry, not faded. Just missing, like those years were quietly cut out of you. Almost every person on Earth has this same strange hole in their memory, starting at birth and ending somewhere around age 3 or 4. So where did those years go? Were the memories never made? Or are they still in there somewhere, locked behind a door you can't open? The answer says something genuinely unsettling about what a memory even is. Scientists have a name for this: infantile amnesia, and it is remarkably consistent. Ask almost anyone for their earliest memory, and you'll get something from around age 3, 4, maybe 2, if they're unusual. Before that, almost nothing. What makes this so odd is that those missing years were not empty. They were the busiest, most intense learning period of your entire life. You went from a creature that couldn't hold its own head up to a small person who could walk, talk, recognize faces, and understand that things still exist when you can't see them. You learned more in those years than you will in any decade since. And you remember exactly none of it. The most transformative chapter of your life is a blank page. Here's the first twist. It's not that babies can't form memories. They absolutely can. A baby learns its mother's voice, learns which face means comfort, learns that a certain sound means food is coming. Show a baby how to work a simple toy, and it will remember how days later. They are constantly recording. That's the entire job of being a baby. So the memories were being made. Something happens to them afterward. This is the part that trips people up. Infantile amnesia is not a failure to record. It is a failure to keep, or a failure to reach. The tape was rolling, you just can't play it back, which raises the obvious question: what is actually going wrong? The main suspect is a part of your brain called the hippocampus, the structure that binds the scattered pieces of an experience into one retrievable memory. And in a baby, the hippocampus is very much still under construction. It's there, it's working, but it isn't finished. The wiring that lets you file an experience away as a complete, findable episode simply hasn't matured yet. So a baby's brain records fragments beautifully, sounds, faces, feelings, but struggles to bundle them into the kind of memory you can later pull up on demand. Imagine a camera that captures perfect images but has no filing system. Everything is taken, nothing is labeled. That's roughly the situation in a baby's head. Now for the genuinely strange part. A baby's brain is growing new neurons at a furious rate, far faster than an adult's. That sounds like it should be great for memory. But researchers have found something counterintuitive. All that rapid new growth may actually be wiping older memories out. When new cells muscle into an existing network, they rewire connections that were already there, and a memory ES those connections. So the very explosion of brain building that makes babies such incredible learners may also be steadily overwriting what came before. Your infant brain was a construction site working around the clock, and every new wing it built quietly demolished some of the old rooms. You forgot because you were growing. There's another piece: language. Most of your rememberable memories are, in some sense, stories. They have a sequence, a place, characters, a this happened, then that happened. Language is the scaffolding you hang those stories on. But a baby has no words. It experiences the world as raw sensation: warmth, hunger, a face, a sound, with no narration running alongside. Without language to structure it, an experience is much harder to store as a retrievable episode, and much harder to retrieve later using words, which is exactly how you go looking for memories. It's a bit like trying to find a file in a library that has no titles and no catalog. The information may be there. You have no way to ask for it. And then there's the deepest reason of all: autobiographical memory. The kind you actually remember needs a main character. It needs a me that things happen to. But a baby doesn't fully have that yet. The sense of being a distinct self, a continuous person moving through time, develops gradually in those early years. Before it clicks into place, experiences happen, but they aren't happening to a you in the way you'd need for a personal memory. That's why your earliest memory tends to appear right around the time toddlers start recognizing themselves, using their own name, and understanding they are a separate person. You can't remember being a baby partly because, in the way you mean it, there wasn't a you there yet to do the remembering. So are those memories destroyed or just unreachable? This is where it gets eerie. Some research suggests the traces may not be entirely gone, that early memories can be stored but simply lack the access route to be consciously pulled up. In other words, the door might still exist. You've just lost the key and the hallway leading to it. It's a strange thought that somewhere in the architecture of your brain, there may be faint impressions of being carried, of a face leaning over a crib, of light through a window, real records of real moments sitting there permanently out of reach. Not deleted, just unreadable, in a format your adult mind can no longer open. Here's a twist that unsettles people. Some of your earliest memories are probably not memories at all. If you've been shown a photo of a birthday or told a story about the time you did something as a toddler, your brain can quietly construct a scene from that and file it as if you'd lived it. It will feel exactly like a real memory. Vivid, first person, emotionally true. There's no internal alarm that goes off to tell you which is which. So that treasured earliest moment you carry around may actually be a story you were told, rendered by your imagination and stamped as genuine. Memory isn't a recording you play back. It's something your brain rebuilds every single time, which means it can be built from the wrong materials. It's tempting to see all this as a flaw. It isn't. A brain that kept every sensation from infancy, every feed, every nap, every overwhelming new color, would be drowning in noise. Forgetting is not memory failing. It's memory working. Your brain is ruthlessly selective on purpose, keeping what's useful and letting the rest dissolve. And crucially, those forgotten years were not wasted. Everything you learned then is still with you, just not as memories. It's in how you walk, how you speak, how you attach to people, what makes you feel safe. The experiences didn't vanish. They were converted into something more permanent than memory. They became you. So why can't you remember being a baby? Because the part of your brain that files memories was still being built. Because new brain cells were overriding the old wiring as fast as it formed. Because you had no language to turn experience into story. And because the you that memories belong to hadn't fully arrived yet. 4 different forces, all pointing the same way, toward a blank that isn't really a blank. Those years are the foundation of the entire building, poured deep underground, where nobody can see it. You will never look at it. You are standing on it right now, every single day. So the next time you see a baby staring at the world with those huge, serious eyes, remember, it is living through the most important years of its life, and it will not keep a single one of them. And here's the part that gets people: someone remembers yours. Somebody watched your first steps, heard your first word, sat with you at 3 a.m. Those years aren't lost to the world, they're just held by someone else. Your beginning exists, carefully, in other people's memories. If quiet, strange truths about being human are your kind of thing, stick around. Ever wondered what else is hiding in the parts of yourself you can't see?